All right. So what we're gonna cover today? So today we're gonna cover Java collections. Java collections, it's kind of like special Java library, which allows to interact with multiple objects, multiple things. I'm gonna talk more. I'm gonna explain you a little bit later what does it mean and what type of collections exist in Java. So this is a and we will also use Selenium in our project to interact with multiple elements, and I will show you how you can do that. All right, so here is our agenda. So again, we will do a quick retro, quick planning. So this homework would be relatively easier than the previous ones. Yeah, so you guys will have time to finish your previous test cases and page object model, because it's crucial for you to finish it, because we will need to move forward later on. All right, and so we will overview the Java collections, and also I will show you how you can use Java collections using a find elements endpoint. All right, so but before that, let's do a quick retro. I actually send you a link to it's right here to add the stickers. I see some of you already did that. I will give you like a few more minutes if you didn't, if you have anything to add here, just like 2 or 3 minutes, and we will start to go over. Yeah, you can do that right now. You will have time until 1:31 PST. What's up? Less people attending. Yeah. All right, so let's go over through the stickers. You can add more while I'm reading it, that's fine. So what went well? Only stand-up meetings. What do you mean by only? Who can elaborate on that?
Me.
Okay.
Alexei. We had really good meetings.
Mm-hmm.
Attendance was about maybe 80 to 90 person, but we were discussing a lot of things to do, and we stopped there. And we stopped there. The only thing we were able to do maybe automate tests, because of everybody working, and we have like it was really hard week.
Mm-hmm.
And like, it's hard after you doing something all day.
Yeah.
Come back home and start everything and looking at screen.
Mm-hmm.
And after the job, you have to do it.
Oh, sorry.
So
Mm-hmm.
pretty much that's it. But this is not. We shouldn't complain about it. This is basically our issue. We have to figure out it somehow.
Yep. Yeah, I'm glad to hear that. All right. Quick and helpful response in Slack. Well, thank you. I mean, unfortunately, I am not able to answer you right away sometimes, but especially when I'm at work. But yeah, I try to be more responsive if I can. Amazing mentoring sessions. Yeah, if you guys, well, thank you first of all. Secondly, if you want to do mentoring sessions, I will remind you how can you sign up for this. So you need to go to the conference page and select automation project and go to the mentorship and choose Dennis, me, or Evgeny. And so let's try me. And we're using a meeting bird. And here you are see like what time spots is available for us. And you can like choose any of them, like any day, and sign up for it. The only thing is, like, I would suggest to Slack me before that, just to confirm, because sometimes I may not see the notification that someone set up, and you know, I can just like overslap and miss it. So just Slack me in advance. All right. Useful interview questions. You mean the page object model, right? All right. Like, was it understandable for you?
I think because we had to really answer it, it was really like you can remember the answer. If you can't just read it, you have to understand it and then answer it in your own words. It really helps to understand and remember all those questions.
Nice, nice, yeah. Yeah, verified today you're submitted. I mean, not only yours, but who submitted today their answers, they were like pretty good, I would say. All right, so yeah, we'll keep doing that because page object model, it's very frequently asked questions in the interview. Like if you see automation, yeah, you know what's the page object model, and it's kind of like distinguish you if you really work on it, if you really work in a real framework, from the people who actually, I don't know, just record something on the screen and play back, and who doesn't know the code. And I mean, maybe they know how to code, but not that much. And you kind of like, it puts you on another level, like in QA automation level. Especially like if they ask you after that some of the algorithm questions, like fizz and buzz, and you already know how to resolve it, right? Like you should be like pretty good on it. So.
And actually, my manager, when I told him that we learning page object models, he said it's one of the most important things. You know.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. All right. So mentoring session helps a lot. However, it's hard to find room in the morning due to existing job. Do you guys work? Like, I have a mentoring sessions open at 8 a.m. Are you already working at 8 a.m.?
I start at 7.
Start at 7.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, if you don't have a right time for you, you can just Slack us and we will try to figure out something. Okay, Nadia is a good Scrum Master. Yeah, I don't have any doubts about it. Nadia, yeah, good job. All right, so let's go to the bad things. Blocked because of the code review. Who can elaborate on that?
Me.
Okay.
So I finished my test cases on Thursday. So basically, I could finish the refactoring until today, but because of the code review, I couldn't do anything. So I had 2 empty days in like with nothing what I can do with it because of the code review.
I see.
And I have only one teammate who can review it. And like we're all busy and we don't have a time for it. I totally understand it. But probably, I don't know how we can resolve it, but it's.
Well, yeah. So you kind of lag because your teammates don't have time to do that.
Another thing, we don't know actually whether it's right.
I mean, that's fine. You just, it's not, doesn't mean like after you pass it, we're not merge it to production right away. We're not merging to the master. It still goes to me. And I will do my code review. It should be more strict.
Okay, guys, just push it forward.
No, I will blame you. Like, why? How did you miss it?
Maria, I just saw your message. I will do your code review today.
Don't be angry, please. It's okay, Alex. I understand we're all busy. I'm so busy at evenings too. I mean, it's just something what we can.
Yeah. So here's my suggestions.
Can we ask someone from another team, so find a person who's available right now, and then assign the merge request? So probably it can be a bit easier for everybody.
Yeah, you can you don't have to do it only within your team. I think you can also ask like someone else. What we can do, we can create a Slack channel for code reviews, where where anyone who is available will do like code reviews.
And another thing, I noticed if I not finished my work, it's kind of hard to review someone else's work because you kind of not really know what you need to check. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but it's the same equation that Alex asked me. It's because of lack of knowledge, right?
Yeah.
You're still reviewing it from your perspective. Exactly. It still goes to my queue anyway. Like I will review it too.
All right.
You just need to train. I mean, it's maybe also helpful because you can see his solutions for something and you can reuse it.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing, trying to watch another's,
Yeah.
That's why I was able to manage my tests.
Yeah. That's a good practice actually. I also do it at work as well. Like when I do code reviews, I say like, hey, this thing is like, it was a smart idea to do that, and I can reuse it. So that's actually what code reviews for. All right, stand up should be short, 5-10 minutes max. All right. Yeah, I understand the concern because I hate stand-ups at work because they take so much time. And people start to. So here's the stand-up structure, right? So you need to provide your updates, like 2-minute max, and then move forward. If you have something to discuss, you have a parking lot session, right? And you will need to discuss in parking lot, not in stand-ups. So you should say, I did that, I'm blocked on that, like I will disconnect. I want to discuss in parking lot, but you're not like taking someone's time because someone's maybe like in rush, maybe, I mean, it's actually responsibility of a Scrum Masters to control that. So who will be on your Scrum Master? I mean, I don't know who wrote that, but whoever is your Scrum Master, just let him know, hey, let's stick to this rule and let's keep it short first. And in parking lots, we can discuss it. And you don't have to be there if you don't want to, you can just leave, basically. Does it make sense for everyone? Online people?
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
All right. No stand up.
I would love to have even 20 minutes stand up, please.
No, I mean, what I don't understand the concern here is because not stand-ups, like everyone's missing a stand-ups, or because you don't want stand-ups?
So first of all, we have only 3 teammates, including me. So me and 2 other people who can do stand-ups, but Veronica is really busy at work right now. So like until end of the May, she will be really busy, so she cannot attend stand-ups at all. So it's only me and Alex, so 2 people. And if anyone from us cannot do the stand-up, there's no stand-up. And even if you can do it, it's just 2 of us.
I see.
So it's
like not enough people.
We didn't have stand-ups for 2 weeks already.
Did you try? Wait, you didn't have stand-up for 2 weeks?
Yeah.
Did you? Did you try to reschedule for right time, maybe within your team?
maybe we need some other time, but
yeah. If we will, okay. Is it only your team problem, or do you guys have any the same problem with your team? So you're both on team 2, right?
Yeah.
Team 3, do you guys have the same problem? That's like nobody attends stand-ups? Team number 3, are you guys here?
No, we all try to attend stand-ups basically.
Oh, okay. So your stand-ups are regularly.
Oh yeah.
All right. Well, like what we can do, we can actually, instead of 2 teams, make like instead of 3 teams, make 2 teams, and switch to another team. So you'll have like, I mean, yeah, I don't know. I need to think about it because I don't want 2 huge teams because then those will be more endless.
longer.
Yeah, longer. Maybe we'll rotate the teams, probably. Yeah. All right.
Maybe team 3 or 2 want to kick out somebody, and we can accept him.
Yeah. All right. I will put it as an action item. Rotate the teams. Yeah, because that shouldn't be the problem actually. All right. Didn't Matt bring goals? Let's see if it's the case. Jira. Active sprint. Oh, sorry. Reports. Yeah, we're still kind of stuck on the middle.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the only one person who I merged the code, it was Alex's code. And that's it. And yeah, how is your progress, guys, doing? Like, are you like, do you remember that you need to finish 5 test cases before refactoring, right? And what is your current problem to finish it?
I finished them. I'm waiting for code.
Okay, so you're waiting for code review. For you guys?
I have 3 working test cases.
You have 3 working and you need to finish 2 more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I decided you actually. I decided neither, but I believe she's busy too.
Okay. All right, guys, try to be more proactive about that. Well, yeah, if you have any problems, actually, what about you online people? How is your test cases? 5 test cases are going.
As far as I know, all of us, mostly all of us, could manage to automate the 5 test cases, as far as I know.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just the matter of merging now them.
No, but they're not passed to my to UAT. They're not like
Yes.
I haven't.
Yeah, I'm just saying that they're like most of them they're done.
Most of them are done. Okay.
Yeah, they're just in some of them in code review, some of them maybe need to be pushed to be reviewed.
All right. So you basically blocked off the code review as well, like most of you.
I can say about me. I just pushed it yesterday, so I cannot like. It's actually this morning, like 3 a.m. because I was doing the automation very late night, so I cannot like really blame people for the code review blocking because they just pushed it like today. Yeah.
Yeah. So one more thing, guys. If you have your code in a code review, you can like say in stand-up, I have a blocker, like I need my code review be reviewed by someone. Because of that, I cannot proceed my further work, right? So you should be your blocker, and you should like let everyone know. And it's actually like code review itself. It's the same as the developing test cases, right? It's kind of the same knowledge. So you're building it and reviewing how other people doing that, and you ask him to fix it, and it's kind of collaboration. That's how you actually learn faster than you will just do your own work and not to see how everyone else is doing that. So yeah, take it seriously. Try to be like more proactive about that, and yeah. Well, hopefully you guys will finish it by the following week, because if you didn't, we will have like really big problem. All right, let's get back to here. Saturday class days, could they use Zoom? Can hear. Guys, okay. Do you guys have the same problem right now? Can you hear when we talk? I'm asking because I put the mic kind of like in the middle of our table.
The sound is good.
Actually,
right.
It's much better. We can hear the other people in your room.
All right.
Cool.
I will talk louder.
Yeah, I will put it as an action item. Put mic in the middle of table. All right. Stuck on waiting for a code review. Well, the same thing as I mentioned before. Yeah. Just let other people know. Let your pointing out in the stand-ups that you're block of that, and try to be more proactive about it. Guys, if you all have a really problem, you can just Slack me, like, hey, like nobody reviews my code, like can you help me out? I mean, first of all, reach out to your Scrum Master. If you didn't answer, like reach out to me personally, and we'll figure out what we can do. So, yeah. All right, so that's probably it for here, and let's quickly review our next week's homework. So we're gonna review the collections in Java, right? So the first task would be it just basically is the tutorials, text tutorials. By the way, do you like text tutorials more than videos?
I like both.
You like both? Yeah, because someone's complained that the videos are not, like people have accent, Indians, yeah, all of that.
Actually, videos help.
Yeah,
videos more after you read something
Mm-hmm.
and then watch how do they do it.
Mm-hmm.
Help more.
But I also find if I read something and I don't understand it, I can search it by myself to get more information in videos.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's what we do.
I mean, yeah, different people understand differently.
I see.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll get back to videos then, but not here. Here would be just 2 articles. They basically kind of elaborating what we're gonna cover starting this class. So you're gonna read what's collections in Java, what type of collections. I'm gonna read what's the list, what's the set, and what's the map. It's like 3 points of collections. You can just review it and go over to have like a basic understanding, but I mean, yeah, it's basically just for reading. You don't have to, like, you will use it in the future. Like you will like have like real examples, and from this point, just go over and understand what the difference is. And here is actually an article, what's the difference between a list, set, and map. So this is also like important to understand. I mean, it's like pretty short. How many points, guys?
1.
Why it's just
To read.
Why it's 2? The first article is pretty big, and to understand it and really like deep dive into it, it will take more time. But I'm okay with 1 too. It just might go.
okay. And if anyone else think it's 2? Probably you're only one. All right. I put it to the 1. Read about list in Java. So this is also an article. Yeah, we're gonna cover it today. Here's actually a video on this article as well. Basically, just general overview, what kind of list exists in Java, and what's I mean, it seems a lot, but it's actually really helpful, and it's kind of like explaining it in a broad picture. What is it, and how can you do that? I mean, most of these things that's from here we're gonna review today as well. All right. The same for maps. It's a different type of collections in Java.
Oh, I see. So in first task we have only overview, and the two others is like more.
Yeah. Well, I guess one as well. Yeah. Right. So here's the one practice task for your homework. So basically, you will need to. Well, we can actually groom it after the class today, because I'm going to show you how to do that. But you will need to use collections endpoint for you basically need to automate one test case using collections endpoint, not endpoint, collections in Java. All right. Yeah, remind me if I'll forget about it, but I really want you to implement it as a part. I mean, I can give you kind of like coding examples, or I can ask you to write the code, but I really wanted you implement it in your current project, so you'll have more idea what's it about. All right, makes sense? Any questions? Seems easy, right?
Yeah, it's just reading, basically.
Yeah, but I'm assuming, guys, you will need still to spend your time to refactoring and write your codes. I expect all of you to finish it by the next Saturday. So there will be no excuses, and if you didn't finish it, I won't care anymore. I will just close them, and I will go over. I mean, I won't kick you off, but I will just go over and yeah, and now I won't wait anymore. Because we have API automation, right? Remember? And we have a CI, we have a mobile, and if we will stuck on it, we will never cover it, right? We still need to move forward.
As a short question, when I do Maria's code review, should she first solve her merge conflict, then I review it, or it doesn't matter?
Yes, she needs to resolve the merge conflicts.
But how can I compare them with the master?
Do you have a PR open?
Or we can do it later.
Yeah. All right. But the question is, yes, it needs to be resolved all the conflicts and then reviewed. But actually, you know what? You can do that before, but after merge conflict is resolved, you can do that again just to make sure everything is the same. Just a second review, because the problem is after you resolve the merge conflicts and you start to review, someone else may push their code, and you will have a merge conflict again.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, disregard my previous thoughts. Do that right away, Alex.
Okay.
Makes sense? Okay. All right. Any more questions before we'll start? No? Okay. All righty. All right, so what's the Java collections? Have you guys heard about it already? Any of you? Have you seen our curriculum? Mentioning about? No? All right, so guys, remember how we interacted with all the objects or any data, integers, strings, single objects. So when we interact with them, we basically work only with one instance, right? So string is just one string, integer, just one integer. So collections, that's actually a separate type of data, like in programming world, where you have like one instance of multiple objects or multiple data. So basically, you can store as one variable, like multiple strings or like integers or like objects, and it's like broad overview. And here is the different types of these collections, like a list, most popular one, sets that we're going to talk a little bit more about, and the maps, where you will store data in a key value pair. Yeah.
Is it the same as dictionary in Python?
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, list, like not only dictionary, list itself also, and string actually also.
I mean maps.
Yeah, maps is the same as dictionary in Python.
Okay.
Do you guys know what's a dictionary in Python?
No.
You do? I'm surprised. Okay. Okay. So in Python there is dictionary, and dictionary in Python is the same as the map. So easy as it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, but don't worry, we're gonna cover it more. Do you guys know what's a JSON?
I heard about it a lot in work, but I don't really know what is it.
Okay. Anyone else heard about the JSON?
I'm not between APIs between.
Yeah. We're gonna cover it in API portion of our course for sure. But basically, the maps, it's kind of the same, have the same structure as the JSONs. When you have everything in a key value pair. All right. So
JSON stores some value.
Yeah, it's like library, something, collections over there.
yeah, I mean, I don't want to dig deeper about it, but yeah, I just wanted to give you like some of the simple example. All right. So first of all, is a list. So basically, list is ordered collections. So here's actually three types of the collection most popular, right? It's lists, sets, and maps, as I mentioned before. So difference basically between the lists and the sets, it's a set, it's a collection of unique elements, right? You cannot have duplicated elements. Let's say
Types of fruits.
Yeah, type of fruits, let's say, right? And like tomatoes, cucumber, something else, and it's kind of a collection of names, right, of fruits. And in a list, you can have like a duplicate tomatoes, or like so there's maybe like 2 tomatoes, right? It's just a collection in a string. For sets, there's no duplicates elements, and this is like a main difference between them. Right. Have you guys heard of arrays? What the array is? Array.
I think we covered it.
Set of data.
Yeah, we a little bit cover it in a Java core part, because like arrays, they're not part of Java collections. And what's the difference between lists and arrays? I mean, as you remember, arrays is also like a collection of data, right? The difference is array, you kind of like defining it, you're putting some data, and you cannot add more data to that. List, you actually can expand. I'm going to show you later how can you do that.
So you can upgrade the list, delete something or add something.
Yeah, exactly. Which also named as mutable and like not mutable collections. Yeah. So here is a list example. So this is how you initiate the list. You're defining the type list, and the variable name list A is a new array list, because array list is basically the class, right? It's a kind of like internal library, kind of like internal API, right? The same basically as like any other class. So after you do that, it's actually initiates the empty list. And this is how you actually can add elements to this list, just using the .add built-in method. And let me actually probably show you in a code. Module. Collections demo. All right, so it's here. And let me create a new file.
So do we need another folder for it?
I'm doing just for demo. Yeah. All right. All right. So before, let me create public static void main. Oh, I forgot how was the
String args.
args. Yeah.
No, string args at the end.
Yeah. Right. String args. Okay.
Args. Behind brackets.
What's up?
Huh?
Like brackets in the middle? No?
Brackets in the middle. Yeah. Oh, it doesn't matter.
Okay, guys, let me just Google it. I really don't know.
Azad, hold on. Can you come back to IntelliJ for a sec? Can you delete public static void main? The whole, yeah. The whole line.
Whole line?
Yeah, the whole line. And try to type ps static VM
V.
and tab.
Oh, nice. Thank you. It's kind of like a shortcut that Dennis very loves.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you, Alex. All right. Yeah. Let me test it. Do you remember shortcut for system out println?
South.
This.
No, SOUT.
OUT. Okay. Perfect.
I'm not good at these shortcuts too. I always forget. It's easy to just type in.
Yep, exactly. All right, so it works. I'll ignore that. All right, so what I was about to do, I was about to actually copy that and add it here. So to work with collections and lists and maps and pretty much everything, we will need to import it. And to do that, you can just click like a shortcut to do that, and it will offer you. Perfect. All right, so we have a list, right? We just initiated. Let me actually try to print it. So I need to put it below. Let's see what's gonna happen. So it prints empty list, right? So list is wrapped in a square brackets, right? Mm-hmm. So you need to remember. So it's empty right now because I just initiated and I didn't add any data. That's why it's empty. All right, let's say if I want to add some data, right? I don't know why I switched. So I'm using add method here. And here, Well, it should be fine. I'm not sure. More. Okay, let me try to print it. Oh yeah, perfect. Yeah, I don't know why it complains. So you see, I just added new value to the list, right? And now we see it's not empty, it has some value. Let me call it example 1. Let me add another value. So the same idea.
Can we add 2 values in one string?
Yeah, probably you can. Oh, actually, you know what? Maybe you cannot do that. Yeah. There's actually a way to do that. I just forgot how you can do that, but there should be a way to do that for sure. All right, so now we have multiple items, right? And this is how you can add it. And here's another thing about the list. Let me actually add one more, actually a few more. Example 3, example 4. All right, so we have a list of strings, right? And we have 4 strings as a separate entities, right? So basically, here is another thing in a string that's called indexes. Have you guys heard about the indexes?
Yeah.
You did? So indexes is basically the kind of like number on which sequence this element appeared in the list, but it's not starts in 1. It starts from the 0. So basically, example 1 has index 0. Example 2 have index 1. Example 3 has index 2, and this one has index 3. Yeah, does it make sense? All right. So another example. So we also can add any element using indexes. Let's say if I want to change example 1 to something else, right? So what can I do? Add pass index 0 and pass another string. And let's see what's happened. So you see, it's actually changed the first. Or it actually didn't change. It actually is adds this string to the beginning because I specified it should add it in index 0.
If you're gonna place 2 or 3, it's gonna be between them.
Yes, yes. So this is how you can interact using indexes. Yeah. So this part makes sense?
Yes.
It's actually the same with all other programming languages.
Yeah. But assuming you don't know the programming languages, yeah, this is basically just an overview. All right. So this is how you can add it using indexes. And all right. Here is another way. You can actually combine 2 lists, right? Let's say if you have one collection, like list of the elements, and another one, you can actually merge them as a one, right? So this is how you can do that. You're just initiating the list, adding the elements, and then you initiating another list. And here you're using add all method, and it will merge the first one and the second one. Let me actually show it here. All right, so this list A, let me delete that. List B. List B, new array list. copy that, add it here, add this one. Let's name it from list B, I don't know, 1. All right, and all right, so right now basically we have two lists, right? List A with this element and list B. So here's a basically a few ways to merge them. So this is the first way. Let me just copy that. So by that we basically say that we are adding to the list A all elements from the list B. And we can actually print that. Oh, okay, it's actually returns true or false state, not the merging it. All right, so then we can do another way. We can just simply say list A plus list B, and oh, interesting. So I cannot like interact with that to the.
So what it does, it's adding these two more elements in list A.
Mm-hmm.
So can we print just list A and we will see all the elements, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that was a smart idea. So yeah, basically it added everything from the list B, and now list A already changed.
Can I ask a question? So it's how did you ever use this in your work?
Mm-hmm.
Can you give us the example, like for what we actually can use it?
Yes, I can do that. Let's say, actually I'm gonna do that later on in the find elements in the Selenium, but lists, maps, and dictionaries, they are frequently asked thing in the interview as well, and they may ask you to implement some exercises. So later on, once you will finish this stuff, I will give you more interview questions about related to the lists and the maps, and you will understand like how can I work with that. Yeah. All right. So this is basic interaction, and yeah, let me expand it. And here is more. So you can like basically you're not really adding. You don't really need to add things to the list. You can also retrieve it. Here's a few ways to do that. Basically, the first one is yeah, I think this is duplicated thing, but you can basically get the string using the get method. So the get element using specific index. So get 0, as you remember, it's where is that? 0 is example 1 because it has a 0 index. And if you say like get 1, get 3, it will trigger like this one or this one. So let's try it out. Get 0. Right, so it will trigger the first element. If you say -1, what should happen?
Error.
Yeah, so it doesn't work like that in Java. Okay. Here is another way to trigger the last element. In a Python, you can use like -1. It will trigger the last one. But in Java, like I don't remember how to do that exactly, but I'll find out and let you know. But here's you can actually get the size of the list, right? So here's a method to get the size of the list. And yeah, okay, how many? Yeah, let me try that. Perfect. It give me the last element. So that size method, it actually returns you the size of the elements, right? But how many elements this list contains?
6, but in index it's 5.
Yeah, because it's starting from 0, right? That's why you need to specify the -1. Does it make sense, guys?
What if we do just a list A size? Will it return number of elements in the list?
Yes. Let me do that.
Item 0, which has index 0, should be in this list like first one. Let's say in our case 6, it will return in our case 6.
It will return the exact size of the elements.
Number.
Yes.
So first element, it would be 6.
Yeah, yes.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, just to make sure. Yeah, this is a 6. And it's like just a count of all elements, but the last index would be 5 because the counting starts from 0.
Yeah, it's understandable.
Yeah, all right. Actually, let's do a quick thing before we'll move forward. Do you guys remember strings, right? Like strings.
Yeah.
Just making sure string 1 equal to example. So can I use it string and to get a size? All right, seems like I cannot. Get really, can I do that? Okay, let me, there should be a way to do that. Get by index. Oh yeah, char add. Do you guys remember when you used this method in your, like some of you used in the Java core exercises? So basically this method char add, it's doing the same thing, right? It's just returning the first button. So basically the strings, it's the same as a list, but it's the difference is because it's a different object, implementation different, but idea is the same. You can interact with a string as a collections, as a different, like you can like basically do the same thing, trigger like any words using the index. And it also starts from the 0. Does it make sense? All right, so the same thing for removal. To remove element, you just use remove, and you can also remove by object, like specifying, okay, let's remove, I don't know, like example 2, right? And it will remove the example 2 from the list. And you can also remove it by the index. Let's say like dot remove and index, and it will remove the first element. Make sense?
Yes.
All right. Yeah, you will go over like in articles, and once you will start to work on it. So what's the Selenium? How can you use it on your scripts, right? Do you guys remember find element method, right? And when you work with find element, do you remember what it's returning to you? If you element, right? Because you're specifying the type, right? And what you can do with this web element?
You can store it somewhere.
I mean, you're already storing it when you're initiating.
Count
Yeah, you can count what?
elements on a page. How many elements by these 6 bytes per line?
Yeah, but I'm telling about the element, not elements.
Put those in the list.
Yeah, not the elements, guys. I'm just telling element when you used before in your scripts. When you were finding one single element, you used like find element, right? Mm-hmm. It was a web it was a web element object. And after you found it, after it's returned, you can click on it, type something, clear, do all the actions, right? So for the find elements, let's say if you want to get list of the elements, right? Not only one web element, if you want to check multiple elements.
Oh, you mean if you need to find few elements, the same elements on the page?
Yes, let's say, let me go here.
Like carousel?
Yeah, like carousel. Let's say you want to check, it's like, I don't know, like let's say you want to check that this, like suggestions, it's only like 3 elements appeared on the page, right? Mm-hmm. So you need to, using that, you cannot like locate only one element, you need to find like all of them and then just count them, right? If you all use like find elements, that basically will do that. Like it will find like all elements and return you as a list, all the elements. Makes sense? Yeah. So in this case, do you remember guys previously I said like try to find unique element? In this case, you will need to find element which will be unique for this type of I don't know what's it called, like images, like blocks. Mm-hmm. And it should be applied for 3 of them, right?
Also, for example, if we have 2 headers on the page and we need to verify that 2 of them presents, mm-hmm. we need to find a unique type of these headers. Mm-hmm. It's even harder to find the element.
No, it's not that hard actually. Let me do that. So we're inspecting element, right? Mm-hmm. So what would be our guess, right? We see, actually, let me close it first. Okay, let's go from the top, right? So this slider views, we kind of have assumptions they have the same type, right? Mm-hmm. Because the constructor is the same for them. So it should be like same unique parent for all of them, mm-hmm. right? In the container. The same thing here. They're like all unique. And even like search, it still has the same unique kind of like identifier. Mm-hmm. And like even here is like 4 of them. So let's actually inspect and find it. All right, let's see here what we got. So this is the image, find a trip. All right, so if I'll use this locator, find a trip, I'll probably find only one, right? Because there's like no more. I mean, this one has different titles. This means I will need to go here. So this is a parent container which stores all of them. But if I will locate this one, I mean, for now, let me just use class equal to this one. It will find only one element because it's using the same container, right? So let's see the child one. It says section book trip column. I mean, that's a good example because the class name doesn't say much, but let's see how many of them we have. All right, 3, perfect, right? Let me actually see if there's like a better locator. Section, book trip, title, paragraph. Okay, let's try this one. So basically what we're doing here, we are finding like 3 titles, right? And let's say if we have a test case that we need to check like these 3 elements has these titles, we can like grab all 3 titles and compare them, right? All right, so let's actually try to write our script to use these elements. So to do that, actually, you know what? Let me see. Oh, perfect. Yeah, perfect. Let me actually go here, go back to our tests.
Can we use it, for example, for drop-down menus?
To get all the elements?
And compare them to...
Yeah, you can do that for everything. Basically, like if you need like a list of elements, like multiple elements, you can do that. Yeah. So the thing is about like the difference about, here's like one significant difference between find element and find elements. So if you use find element and it wasn't able to find it on the page, what will it do? If element is not located, is not present, I don't know. It's not on the page. It will throw you, yeah, it will fail.
An exception.
Yeah, it will throw you an exception. Yeah. If you use find elements and if it doesn't, if it won't find any elements on the page, it will return you empty list without throwing an exception. So basically, your test won't fail.
But we can write the extra line of code, like if it's empty, throw the exception.
I mean, not that you can just assert it's not empty.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, something. Yeah, I'm just saying like be careful with that, and just keep in mind it will not throw. All right. All right, let me actually write simple test case to show you how to do that. Actually, yeah, I can probably do it here because it's an example. So, tons. Okay, I'll just comment it out for now. So we have our driver initiated, we have implicit wait, and we have a direction to the, I mean, not the login page, to the home page. That's our before method setup. And here we can actually find this, use like find elements. To do that, let me actually copy elements by this selector. All right, so let me initiate it first. And okay, so for now, just let's print the
Sold.
Yeah. So yeah, we'll do it next time. Let's just print the size. All right. Okay, let's see what happens. All right, so let me, how can I do that? Yeah, here we go. Yeah, there was an exception because I forgot to pass parentheses. All right, so it passed, and what we see in the logs, it prints we have 3 elements with this title. So basically, what it returns the list of these elements, and it has 3 elements on the page. All right, let's say.
How we can make sure that it found right elements?
Checking the locator. All right, so basically, what it returns, guys? Like, what would be on the list? So we have a list, right? It returns 3 elements.
Yeah.
But what kind of elements is returning? Web elements, yeah. So we have 3 web elements.
Mm-hmm.
It's counting 3 web elements, right? But let's say if we want to grab a text from these 3 web elements, how can we do that?
We need to do a string. I mean, convert it to string.
I don't think you can do that actually. You have a web element. Can you convert to string?
I did. When I needed to get the text, I
You used that text method, right?
Get text, no?
Yeah,
get text.
But yeah, I did string, name of the string, and then equal to my web element that get text, and then I print it out, or like whatever you want.
Yeah. So basically, you need to retrieve each of them, right, and implement this get string, get text, and get like a list of get basically all the text for this 3 of elements. What would be the fastest way to do that? Let's say if you want to print each text for these 3 elements.
We have a list. So can we use this list to convert whole list from web element to string, not for each element?
You have a list of elements, and they're like separate entities.
Oh, we need to do it for each one.
Yeah. Do you remember our loops, guys, in Java? Yeah, you can do that through the loops. Okay, let's do just reminder, integer e equal 1. So our exit point would be basically this size, right? And what we will need to do, we will need to get text.
List A.
List what?
List A.
No, actually.
Why I? I doesn't.
Yeah, you're right. Let me think about that.
For now, we can do it not dynamically, but just like I equal 1, then I less than 3, and I plus plus. Just for 3 elements. We already know that it's 3 elements.
I mean, yeah. For now, let's try that. I mean, this one still returns the integer, so it will be 3 here. And here, actually, I plus was. All right. Oh, yeah. That's right. Terminator, yeah. And it complains because requires boolean found integers. Oh, okay, so
compare just.
Yeah. Is that right? And what's now? So I will need to get get text.
No, not I think list A get text. Oh, I see.
I'm going through the list and I'm getting from each of them.
Should we use index then?
Actually,
like list A, index 0, get X.
Ideally, I should be the index. It will go through the 0 to 2.
But how the program know that it's index? Then you have to put.
Actually, you know.
For me, it's just like a flag that counts rounds. It's tricky.
Okay, let me grab water and I'll get back because I probably forget something to add here. All right, yeah, you guys can think about it, but I'll get back shortly. All right, guys. So yeah, okay. Let me explain the idea. I want to create a loop to go through this list, and basically to grab each element from this list by its index, starting from 0, ending in 2, and retrieve of each element. All right, let's skip loop for now. Go ahead.
I just thinking, what if we leave it like? I think the loop is right. It just I got text. It's not working because it doesn't know the index. So if you leave the loop description like it is, and just give more explanation in the body.
So that's it.
Yeah, get the index or whatever.
We will try that, but first of all, let's try to do it manually without loops.
Yeah.
Right. So let me verify really quick. All right. So basically, I'm getting an element using the get and web element. Well, actually, this will be string, right? String from element. Oh, okay, so it returns the object. Yeah, of course, because it returns the object, and this will be web element, not a string. Really? Wait, I'm confused. So basically, list A is a list of the elements, right?
List it's an object.
Yes.
But the first element, it's not the object, it's a web element. First element of the.
Yeah, but this is still a web element.
It's web element.
Yeah. Okay. Let me do that. Let me actually print it. Print ln and let me grab that and put it here. And comment this out, and let's see what happens.
It prints.
First element.
Yeah, it prints as a object.
Yes.
Wait, if I will do get text.
Maybe get size. Not get size.
Just size. Okay.
Just size.
How we can know what type of element it returns?
You mean like from the list?
But it's printed the element. Is it the object or is it the web element?
So basically, that should be an object itself.
Can you try something?
Mm-hmm.
Can you write string, name of the string, then equal to
String, name of string.
like any name, and then equal to list a dot get 0.
Dot get 0.
And then dot get text. No.
No.
It's not allowed.
But I can use to string.
Oh.
Can I show you something?
Mm-hmm.
How I did it in my homework. I asked my coworker like this to get amount of
Elements? Oh yeah, so you also use the find elements.
Yeah.
Actually, can you share it?
Yeah.
Yeah, in Zoom. Let me close it. Stop share.
I can send it to general channel.
Yeah, you can share your screen if you don't want.
Share my screen?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you know how to do that?
Yeah. 1 second. Where's my Zoom?
Perfect. All right. So you used find elements to get the list web elements, right?
Mm-hmm.
And return it to you and see.
And it prints amount of web element from my XPath, basically.
Oh, okay. So you specified the web elements when you initiate it, right? I see. That maybe this may be the case. Okay, let me try that.
Okay.
What is this case for?
This I wanted to see.
Oh no, that's fine.
I wanted to check how many buttons
On a
PLP.
PDP?
Like like it's day 1, day 2, day 3. I wanted to compare how many buttons and how many days in a PLP list. So it compares how many buttons and how many days. So
nice. So you basically went ahead and.
So basically, I did my homework.
Yeah, I think it counts.
Yeah. Try. So you get the list, right? And all you did there is just to count them.
Yeah,
and compare, right?
There is the class like buttons, not buttons, like. So yeah, I found XPath how many elements. And yeah.
You can actually what you can do in homework. You basically can find buttons.
Yeah.
Grab one of them and to do something with that. Click on it, or inspect, or just to grab like one element from this list and do something with that.
Maybe.
Yeah. Just click on it, for example. All right.
Or you can compare text. I mean, if they want actually matching with they want.
Look, but the buttons basically it's just. I don't think. Okay, we can talk.
Yep. All right, guys. So let me actually. Print it to see what it's actually prints.
But to string, do we need to do it to string?
It's actually,
okay.
Yeah, I actually did that.
Yeah, since we need get text, we need.
Okay, maybe, yeah.
For counting it.
Well, it did me the same thing. Yeah, okay, let me try to do one more time.
But it's not getting text, it's just converting it to string.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Get text. Yeah, finally. Yeah, that one worked.
Yeah.
All right, what we did is, I think it didn't know, because we didn't specify a type, it didn't know that's a web element, and that's why it complained when I used the get text initially, right? So because we know, so we can actually name it as a find trip title, right? Trip title, and one of the way we can assert yeah, actually here is a different type of assertions that TSNG provides, but for now assert this one. Search. Okay.
What you just did.
I just went for a assert class and to see what the assertion types it provides. So here's the basically okay. Let's say assert equals, right? The most popular.
Try to put
Probably you should do assert dot assert equals.
Yes.
Yeah, you're right. Assert that assert equals, and here provide that's find title, and expected is find the trip. Let me actually type find the trip 1 to make sure it fails. And you see the exception here that it says find a trip, but found find a trip.
Oh, it's interesting. It's not really failed. It says it's go through, but it's through the exception.
Yeah, yeah, that's the kind of like the point. All right, guys. So yeah, the idea, like my initial idea was to transfer. So here we have a list of web elements, right? They are not like, we can do like many things with them. We can get text, we can click on them, we can do anything. So you can like basically extract them by extraction by the index, like a 0 as we did here. And my idea, like my initial idea, was just to put a loop and to get each of them. Yeah. Actually, you know what? Maybe I know why it didn't work. So
oh, I know. We need to put here list A get, and instead of 0 we need to put I. And then
can you say it one more time?
Yeah. So instead of I equal list A dot size, probably we need to put list A dot get and I instead of 0, and then get text. Then I will be the index.
Can you type, because I didn't get it?
Can I? Oh.
Yeah. Go ahead here.
It looks different.
Yeah, it's like real low resolution here.
I'm not sure if it will work. Like the idea, maybe it's wrong.
Oh no, you probably cannot do that in this way. Yeah. Okay, let's try. Maybe it's not here. Maybe it will be here because here we need to set the exit point, right?
Oh yeah, actually we can yeah.
So we can say I don't know, size. Sorry. Size equal to I. Makes sense?
Yeah.
All right.
Since it starts crying.
Okay, let's try. Let's try it out and see if it works.
We need to print it out.
No, it fails actually in this assertion that we initially put to fail.
I mean, to make sure that it sounds correctly, should we print it out for all three of them?
Yeah, we should. Let's do that. What the shortcut again, guys? S.
South.
So.
Ut.
S.
Yeah, like system.
SOUT.
Oh, system out. Wait.
Yeah, like system. Just S out.
Lowercase s.
Yes. Perfect. Thank you, guys. All right, so now we're gonna print it. And didn't print anything because wait. Let me element equal to this and string equal to this get text. And let's print the text.
Oh, probably you need to comment the string above the get text.
This one?
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's try. And we don't have anything. Let's see. All right, let's see why it's complaining here. The call to get always fails as index is out of bounds. So is E equal to 1, right? Then we have a...
Oh, yeah, because the size is... Oh, no.
All right, let's print
I.
Yeah, let's print I and see. Yeah, that's interesting. Why it's not even printing the I. I plus. Okay, let me try one last time. No luck. Okay.
Does that mean it's not executed?
Yeah, I'm not sure what. It's not even like printing the I. Actually, I'm curious why. Maybe I initiated the loop in the wrong way. Let me try. For loop in. Just a reminder myself.
Can you try while?
Yeah, we can. Let me actually try to print the text. All right, so I didn't print the text. What if I do it outside of the loop?
Maybe a problem with
What's up?
With equals. Just could you change for the list A size?
You mean here?
Yeah.
Okay, so maybe you're right. So what you're saying, I meant to remove the equals?
Just put it like a less or equal.
Yeah, but we don't less than I don't know, 3, right? Because we know it's 3 of them.
Okay.
Can you put just I less than
Wait,
3?
but it doesn't make sense because it's yeah, I equal to 3.
Less than 3.
Less than 3.
Oh no, more than 3.
Less and equal.
Yeah.
Less and equal?
Yeah.
Wait, if less, but it will be less from initial, right? If it's 0, it's already less.
More than 3.
Yeah, more than 3.
No, less than 3. It's 0, then it's true, then it's rounded. So it should be less than 3.
Okay. Yeah, it works.
It just.
Wait, it doesn't make sense to me. So but it less in.
We just didn't get the size because we know it. We're assuming that we know the size and oops.
But it should be the same thing, right? If I say list size.
Yeah, but it's different. Like we did before. Because we put equal to 3.
Okay, we are saying here is I is less than size, right?
Oh, I know what the problem was.
What was the problem?
We put equal 3, which is true, which is always true. We put size equal 3.
Okay, let me try to run this time, and I will try to figure out. All right, we have a list of titles. Okay, so this is our exit condition, right? Here we are specifying when to exit, right? The loop.
Yeah.
So here we are incrementing by 1 after each circle. And here, exit condition, we are saying the size 3 should be equal or less to 1 to I.
But before it was equal I, and it was always false.
If I said equal,
it will false.
It will false?
Yeah, because look at this. It's 0, then you go to I, which is 0. So yeah, exit condition already.
But it's
I is 0, then you go to next one. I is 0 and it's equal to exit size. It's false.
But it's not 0 here, it's 3.
Yeah, it's already false. And we can go next.
Oh, okay, so I'm specifying the true, not the. Okay, let me try that. Yeah, and it's not works. It doesn't work.
The 0 not equal to. So single solution.
Yeah, it's interesting. So we specified the E less or equal. Wait, what if I sell just less? Will it still work in this case?
It will run one more time because there is only 2 index. I mean, the last index.
No, it works. Okay, let's say if it's 0, right? It's print the first one.
Yeah.
It's increment after that. It's still kind of less than that.
Yeah. Then it's 1.
Oh, okay, so it return. Okay, so it return false, and that's why it stopped, right?
Yeah.
It says like it false here, and stop. Oh, okay. For some reason I confused and I thought I need to specify the true statement, not the false. All right, guys, that was an idea that took much more time than I thought because I need to remind myself how to work the loops. All right, so you got an idea, right? So right now we can actually store the list of the text, not the web elements, right? And compare the work of this text to this list. So to do that, let me actually finish what I was thinking, what I was thinking about to do. So what we can do here, we can actually create a new list. List of titles, right? And let's say array list. And what we can do here, we can actually delete this one and Wait. Well, it should be fine, I guess. Wait, so I'm adding a string, right? And let's print it out. Perfect. So we have a list of text right now, which one you can interact. Yeah, I'm not sure like if you will like really need it, but I just wanted to show you how can you interact. So basically, to get the text from the each web element that you're working on this list, you need to like basically call this method for each of them, and only after that you will get the list of the text for these elements. Makes sense? All right. And if you guys want to get the first, so basically what we have here, right? This is a list of the strings, right? Because we get the text. And you still can grab the first, I don't know, you can do like the same, you can grab any word from it using like slicing it by the index as well. But because it's a string, it's like not a part of the list. You just call like a char at somewhere and you can like get it. All right. So what we can also do here, we can actually also, all right, we won't be able to click on it, right? Okay, let's go to this two sliders. Let's say I wanted to click to the first slider, right? And here's the three of them. So basically, here's your first option would be to find unique element, right? Sorry, unit locator, and click by this locator, or using this method, you can basically just grab the first one and click on it, right? Make sense, guys? No, I'm just saying, like, if you like, let's say if you want to click the first slider here, first image. So here's the two options. The first option would be to find unique locator, yeah, for this element. But it's maybe hard because I'm pretty sure like they are using the same class names. And let's say if I will use this class name, class equal to, wow, it's even 6 of them.
Yeah, but you can use index and just like index 1, and you can use the curve.
Yeah, index in where? In the list?
In yeah, like you can use. I don't know if I can do it in CSS selector, but in XPath you can just specify.
Oh yeah. Yeah. So basically, like in what you're saying, it's like XPath allows to locate elements by the indexes as well. So it's basically doing the same thing as a Java.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. But let's say if you're using a CSS where you cannot do that, you can. You can like you can actually do the same here. So you can like find like 6 elements of here, and specify the one, and click on it, or like to do like any kind of interactions with that. All right.
So can you click on any of them? And there's like guess. Oops.
Not found. Really.
Maybe another page.
Seems like an issue.
you see guess,
Mm-hmm.
and all those, can you click on it?
Yes.
So I can implement the same idea here.
Yeah.
Okay. Now because if you're gonna inspect it, they all are the same.
Guess selector.
So the difference is like those, yes, adults, children, and infants.
Yeah. But you need to be careful with that, because I feel like when it's using the find elements, I think it waits 10 seconds by default until this element is loaded. But let's say in case if some of the elements not loaded in this timeline, it won't be appeared on the list. Makes sense? Let's say like, okay, you have a three plus buttons, right?
I want to click on them like in order. Like adults one, children, and infants. Yeah,
that's like one of the options. But I'm just saying like you need to be careful, because let's say if these two elements will load right away and the last one will, for some reason, will take longer, the problem would be that the find elements list will return only 2 buttons, not 3 of them.
Okay, increase it with them.
Yeah, probably. All right, guys. Do you guys have any questions about the find elements?
It's always a challenge.
Yeah.
I actually had with the same guest. How can I find? I was able to manage the first class. How can I find the second one? This one is actually the same.
Well, you can also implement the really complicated locator as the first option.
The number?
By
You know what, by the way, using XPath, it's very bad practice. Do you guys use it in your?
Yeah, we use all XPath.
You don't use the CSS.
Almost.
In this case,
Almost similar like you use.
But maybe something we use for CSS, but usually we use XPath.
Oh, really? In a web, it's interesting.
Yeah.
Because I never saw the company who use that, because all of them using a CSS.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe
they do the same in CSS.
I think
in CSS, I don't know.
if someone starts the automation, he starts using
CSS.
That's an
XPath.
It's actually CSS is just a better practice.
Okay.
All right, guys. Here's one other thing. If you don't have any questions about find elements, there was like one thing that I wanted to show you that many of you asked, and I don't think like we covered it. Maybe we did, but we'll check. So let's say, wait. Not this one. Wait, where's our? Okay, so here we go. All right. So, okay, so I have some changes, right? I even have like a merge conflicts, but anyway, I have some changes that I'm working right now, right? And let's say I want to check out to the master for some reason. So it says you need to resolve some of the things. Even if I'll do that, let me discard it. Even if I do that, okay, for some reason it's fine here. Let me do here. All right. I don't have like any conflicts. Perfect. So sometimes when you try to check out the branch, and you're trying to check out to another branch where like these files were already touched and already worked on, it will complain, like let's say this is an Andrej's branch, and it actually complains that these files that I worked locally and didn't commit, they also were touched in Andrej's branch as well. And if I check out his branch, my changes will be overwritten by his. I will basically lose my changes, right? Because I haven't committed that, right? So here's the two-way. I can, like, if I don't care about my changes, I can just discard them and check out after that anyway. Or here's another way. How can you do that? Let's say you're working on your branch, right? But you don't want to commit for some reason, right?
Can you do that? I thought we should commit every change.
Yeah, you should. I mean, let's say I don't want to do that sometimes because, let's say if I add some of the changes, it's like all highlighted and I see what exactly I changed. If after I commit, it will like disappear because all my changes are saved, right? And sometimes I don't want to do that for now. I just want to make there on more ready state, and after that commit, right? So, and let's say Andrzej asking me like, hey, can you do like code review because I'm blocked? Like, can you do it right now? I said like, okay, fine, but I don't want to commit yet. So what I can do, I can like stash my changes. Have you guys heard about stash? All right. So let me show how it works.
It's like backup thing. You save your work in some different storage, and then you can reuse them.
Grab that back. Yeah, that's correct. That's basically what it's doing. So stashing of files, so imagine that you have a local repository, right, that you cloned to your local laptop, and you have a remote repository, which is a GitLab, right? And you like interacting each other. There's like one additional layer in between, which is like a stash. So you're kind of like putting files on the middle and check outing to another branch, doing something else, and then grabbing and saving your files.
Like snapshot.
Yeah, exactly. So let me, I will need to, so to do that, you need to click here to stash and put a message like stashed changes, stash it. And you see, my file is disappeared, right? Because it's like stashed. And if I go to the login, I see like all of my changes, they're disappeared. I have like previous state, right? So this files still appears because this is a new files. And because this is a new files, there's like won't be any conflicts with that. And I don't actually need them, so I can, okay, let me leave collection demo for now and let me delete. Okay, let me keep it. All right, so let's say I want to go to the Andrzej's branch. So you see like there's like no conflicts. And I can pull his changes, do something else, and let's say I want to go back to my previous branch. And so I am on my previous branch, and I still don't see my changes, right? So if I want to get my changes back, here's a simple command. You can just type git stash all. Yeah. And here we go. I have my changes back.
How can you do it without? Is it the way?
Yeah. Let me actually just do. I don't have it, and it's actually, yeah, it's actually. Yeah, here we go. Makes sense, guys? I actually use it a lot. When I do code reviews, like I don't want to commit anything yet. I'm just like stashing all my files, check out another branch, doing something right there, like implementing something, then going back my branch and stashing it back, and I have all my changes.
I have a question. What if I don't need anymore this stashed file? Is it stored somewhere? How can I delete these snapshots? Oh yeah, so simple answer. Okay.
There you go. Any other questions about stashing? No? All right. So here was another thing that I wanted to show you. It's I actually showed some of you on mentoring sessions, but I wanted to like more official. All right, so let's say I am on master branch, right? And the master branch, usually it's, as you remember, it's like a production branch. Like everything was production, it's also like on the master. It's kind of like latest updates for your test image should be there. Like all approved pull requests, they are merged to the master. And let's say, okay, let me actually go here and create 2 branches. So the first one will be test demo 1, create branch. So I'm creating it from the master, right? I have a latest master for test demo 1. And let me go back here and create another branch, and I will name it test demo 2. All right, guys, so basically these 2 branches, they are reflecting the current master, right? And let's say I'm on test demo 1 and I'm adding some changes, demo PDP test 3, and let me go here. Let me actually edit test commit, push it to GitLab. So I'm clicking, oh yeah, it won't work. So let me commit it first. Let me push it. Oh yeah, I need to use this because it's a new branch which doesn't exist in GitLab. All right, here, let me go here and GitLab. Go here and find my branch. Merge request. All right, I'm gonna skip this. And I have rights to merge it without approval, so I'll do that for demo purposes. All right, so what will happen now, right? I just updated the master. So that means if I open the source tree, so this, let me fetch it. So basically, this branch, it's because I just push it, it's the same as the master, right? Because this PDP3 file exists in my branch, and it also exists on the master branch, right? But let's go back. Let's go to the test demo 2. Do you remember I created this branch from a master before I submitted this test case? And that's why this is an old version and it doesn't have this test case, right? So let's say I want to get the latest master for this branch. So what can I do? I can rebase it. So how can I rebase it? I need to go here, right click, and click rebase current changes onto master. Click OK. Oh yeah, it's the unstashed files. It's asking me to stash it, but I will just, well, okay, let me stash it just in case. Stash file. All right, and let me do it again. Rebase current into the master. And here we go. This is my branch rebased from the master, right? So that was the case when my changes from this branch, test demo 2, doesn't have any conflicts from the master, right? We work on a different files. But let's say if I will work on the same file, and if like a master have any changes to the PDP test, if I will do that, I will have merge conflicts that you will need to resolve.
Oh, so for me, that I couldn't compare the merge request, I need just rebase my branch master.
Yeah, but in your case, it was a problem because we already changed these files that you work on. That's why you get the merge conflicts.
Yeah, but how when I put the merge request, then Alex merged his code to master, and now I have merge conflict.
Yeah.
But I cannot like do the merge conflict resolving.
You cannot?
Or I don't know how.
Oh.
I can see it only in GitLab, but not everywhere else. So probably I need to.
Yeah, it will show you only on. I mean, well, if you'll do rebase from the master, you will get the merge conflicts here.
Okay.
Yeah, GitLab just automatically detect them and telling you implicitly.
So basically, I need to just rebase.
Yes. Yep. Yeah, I feel like merge conflicts. It's I mean, they're kind of annoying. It's annoying to deal with them, but if you will work on a team, there will be like more than one QA automation engineer, you will definitely face it a lot. Yeah. I mean, here's one option. Like you can say, like, hey, I'm working this brain, don't touch it, but it's kind of like more reactive way, but be like more proactive. You just to learn how to solve them. And I believe Dennis is sent his way how he's doing that. I haven't looked at that to this video. I will take a look, and maybe I will leave it as it is if he is doing like the same thing. But I also may record a video how I do it in IntelliJ IDE, how I'm resolving the problems. Yeah, if it would be helpful for you. All right, so that's basically it that I wanted to cover today. We have like 20 more minutes. Yeah, it's the first time. Yeah, so basically, yeah, I wanted to do like some exercises, and I wanted to give you some exercises about the list and about the maps, but I just didn't want to overwhelm you with like too much information. Yeah, maybe I'll do it later on, because list maps, it's a frequently asked questions in the interview as well, like coding exercises. Like again, we're getting back to the whiteboard session, programming exercises. Like you will need to know how to solve them, right?
Can I ask you a question? Is it possible to see in Jira all the tickets for all screens? I mean, for all screens of the work?
Yes. Jira Test Pro. Guess where? In the backlog. Yeah. Oh wait, it's not. Oh, okay. So you can. All right, you can actually search. Wait, all the tickets, like all of them.
I mean, only assigned to me.
Assigned to you.
Yeah, but all the tickets that they did.
All right. Yeah, that's easy. So they can just assign it. Wait.
Oh, you have to click on advanced.
What was your question?
No.
She wanted to retrieve all the tickets that were assigned to her.
You can click on main nav issues drop down.
Where?
Oh, actually, there is assigning.
Which
one? Not here.
But it's a long way.
Right?
Right?
Yeah, this assign all and.
Assign all. I see.
Yeah.
Yeah, current user. Delete that. And because I don't have anything assigned to me.
Just yeah.
I find it.
Here we go.
And it's all of them. Oh, okay, great.
Yeah. All right. Any other question, guys? Do you want to try solve problems that you're facing right now?
I solved it today.
You solved it today? Okay. Actually, okay. I think I already talked to you about it, but if you want to practice, like more like coding exercises, there's a website. It's called Collations. Of course. Have you guys heard about it?
Yeah.
So basically, this is a web application, and idea here, it's like really nice. It's a really nice resource to train your coding, like to try to solve coding exercises. And idea of this web application, people, let's say who went, I mean, here, like it's also has a premium account, so you don't have to buy it right now. So you can like solve like a simple exercises, like a general. You can actually sort by difficulty, anything else, and I think you can also hear. I believe you can also sort them by sort them by types, like by the strings or the list, but maybe I'm wrong. So idea is here that people actually sharing, like let's say if you're going to the Facebook, right? And there will definitely ask you like some of the algorithm questions. And people here, they are actually sharing what they ask in the Facebook, and you can go here and you can like try to solve these problems. And let's say let's go to the algorithm ones, and let's difficult easy, and let's get higher acceptance rate, and here's like an exercise, and here's examples, notes, and here's a whiteboard where you can like try to provide a solution. Yeah, if you want, you can like play around with that. It's a more like advanced level, you know. I mean, maybe it will be hard, but if you want to like explore it, because when people like ask you like some FizzBuzz questions, they are basically checking your basic knowledge. Like, let's say I know Java, it's like, hey, can you like write a loop or FizzBuzz or recursion or like something else? So you're doing that and you're showing you like, okay, like I know how to do that. But here it's more like algorithmic questions. I would say it's more like for developers. But in the future, if you want to practice, because you may be asked these questions on the interview as well, you know. Just to get practice, it's a really nice resource. And I know people whose seniors dads in Silicon Valley, they all using for training this website. Yeah.
I actually heard about the app. It's called Blind. Yes.
Yeah, where people share the experience from the company, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, Blind is where you can actually anonymously share your experience, right? Here, there is actually coding exercise that we're asked. Yep. Here is, yeah.
Blind is for gossips, basically.
For what?
Gossips.
Gossips? Oh, yeah. I mean, it's not for gossip. You can also find useful information there, right? Yeah. Yeah. So, like all seniors, dads, engineers, they kind of like all here. And I've heard that, like in top companies like a Facebook, Google, and I don't know, like Apple or anything else, they have kind of like strict rules about the interviews. And in most cases, they will ask you like the same thing, all the candidates. Like if you go to startup, you kind of like don't know like what they can ask you, but in these companies, they kind of have like rules, like what to ask and what algorithms to ask and about sequence. And I heard like many people who did that, they just went to the interview and they asked them the same questions and just pass it. Yeah.
Cool.
And they have like really good salaries. Like, I know people who getting 300K, 400Ks, and they're just engineers, and they're just like test engineers. Right.
But you have to live in Silicon Valley, and there's pretty boring.
Boring?
Yeah.
What?
It's my.
I mean, there's nothing to do.
Yeah.
Come on.
Just coding.
Yeah.
I can show you a place.
Yeah, probably. All right, guys, do you have any more questions? Online people?
No.
No, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, guys, finish your Selenium exercises and page object modern, okay?
Okay.
All right, and one test case, we find elements, for sure. All right, guys, thank you for joining us today, and see you all in Tuesday.
Okay, thank you. Have a good day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.